Imagine looking in the mirror at yourself and not recognizing the person staring back with bruises that tell a story of the life you didn't know you were living. Like many of us, I've seen posters and bathroom signs for ways to get help, but I've never truly understand the life-changing work that they did until I heard Laura Golson's story, who is a woman living in Greenville, South Carolina, who found hope through Safe Harbor. By sharing Laura's story of survival and explaining the impact of Safe Harbor, I hope to create passion in you and motivate you to take small but meaningful actions to support survivors of domestic abuse. Today, I'll tell you Laura's story, explain how Safe Harbor changed her life, and I'll show you what difference you can make for others just like her. Laura Golson is a bartender and a martial artist from Greenville, South Carolina. To most people, she seems strong, confident, and full of life. But behind that smile was a woman trapped in an abusive relationship. Her partner isolated her from her friends, controlled her phone and messages, and even used manipulation to make her feel powerless. When the pandemic hit, she was trapped in a house with them, and the abuse escalated quickly. One day, she finally decided to move out, and sadly, he attacked her. She suffered arm injuries, shoulder, and hip injuries. Even then, she told herself that it was not that big of a deal, just like many other survivors say, and Laura tried to move on in silence. When she finally found the courage to file a police report almost a year later, she faced disbelief from friends who didn't believe her and a justice system that called her case too insignificant. But when Laura felt most alone, one person handed her a piece of paper, which happened to be a flyer for Safe Harbor, and everything changed. Safe Harbor is a nonprofit organization in Greenville, South Carolina, that provides shelter, counseling, and advocacy for survivors of domestic violence. For Laura, Safe Harbor became her lifeline. She began weekly counseling sessions with one of the trained advocates, who listened to her, believed her, and helped her rebuild her confidence. Laura said it was one of the first times I felt seen and validated. Safe Harbor didn't just give her emotional support, but gave her the tools to rebuild her life. The counselors there helped her to navigate trauma, their programs helped her to understand the cycle of abuse, and their compassion helped her to find peace. Today, Laura shares her story publicly to help others recognize the signs of abuse and to show that healing is possible, especially with organizations like Safe Harbor that help survivors every step of the way. Laura's story reminds us that Safe Harbor doesn't just change lives, but it saves them, and that's where each of us comes in. Now, not all of us can be counselors, but we can help to take action. You can donate clothes, toiletries, or money to Safe Harbor shelters. You can volunteer at their community outreach events or host a local fundraiser on your campus. Or you could simply share their hotline number or social media post. Even the smallest gesture matters, like a shared post, a donation, or a kind word to someone who might be struggling. Safe Harbor thrives because of the people in our community that care enough to get involved. When you support them, you're telling survivors like Laura, you are seen, you are believed, and that you are not alone. Laura's journey from victim to survivor is full of courage, compassion, and community. It's a story that could not have happened without Safe Harbor. We heard Laura's story, listened to how Safe Harbor gave her hope, and discovered that each of us can play a massive part in supporting survivors. Visit safeharborsc.org to learn more about their mission, share their message, or donate what you can, because together we can stand against domestic violence.